What's up guys, my name is Devin, also known as FBE, and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, we're going to be doing a full in-depth review on the Massive all-season football gloves. In these glove review videos, there's a couple different things we're going to look at when we review the football glove. The first thing is going to be fit. We're going to talk about comfort, grip, protection, style, what positions they're meant for, and of course the price. Stay tuned to the end of the video for information on a massive football glove giveaway. The first thing we're going to do is cover the fit of the football glove. Right out of the box, these gloves are super snug fitting. The massive mesh on the back of hand forms to you and feels really good on the back of hand. The fingers on these gloves are pretty average size, so they're going to fit you pretty snug as well. They're not way too skinny or way too wide. This glove has finger cap overlays at the tips of each finger, and what this does, it keeps the glove from moving around while you make the catch, and they do a great job. You also have this nice low profile strap that does a great job locking the glove down. But for you guys who like to have their gloves unstrapped, they do have a nice taper to them, so it's still snug even if you don't strap them up. Right out of the box, these are some of the better fitting gloves on the market for sure. Overall, the massive mesh on the back of hand gives you a nice second skin feel, and the fingers are super snug as well. The next thing we're going to cover is how comfortable this glove is. These gloves do feel pretty great on hand, but like most gloves, they do have a couple of drawbacks. First off, that massive mesh we just talked about is awesome. It's a four-way stretch, soft, form-fitting glove that breathes relatively well. Throughout my testing process, the glove stayed pretty cool and the hot air was able to escape no problem. Now, just a disclaimer, it was about 45 degrees when I tested them out, so I can't speak to how they'll work in the super hot weather, but based on the material, I think they're going to vent just fine. Now, we mentioned a couple drawbacks, and one of those is that at the very tips of the fingers, you do feel the seams of the glove, but that's really tough to avoid when you're manufacturing a football glove. But it can be a little bit uncomfortable. Also, when you make a fist in these, you do feel some of the material kind of bunching up and creating some discomfort, but then again, how often are you making a fist in a football game? Overall, I can't say enough good things about this back of hand massive mesh. It's really cozy, it breathes really well, and it feels great. But you do get a couple of tough to avoid discomforts in the fingers. The next thing we're going to talk about is one of the most important aspects when talking about gloves, the grip. These massive all-season football gloves have one of the most unique grips we have ever tested on the channel. First off, these have what Massive calls their infinity grip, which is designed specifically to stop the velocity of a leather or synthetic football. On these gloves, the grip surface area is really large and it extends pretty far down your wrist. This little extension gives you a little bit more grip when catching the football and then also when carrying it. The palm on these have a unique texture that seems to work to create more friction against the football than your regular synthetic palms. The most exciting aspect about these gloves by far was the hydrophobic palms. That means the palms of the all-season football gloves are built to repel water, and we actually tested it for ourselves. You guys can see the water bead right off the gloves and the gloves stay relatively dry. Now, all that technology and science is really cool, but how did the gloves actually do? We did some testing with them totally dry and then with some of the water from the snow that we got up here in New England. During the dry test, they were pretty sticky, but I did finding myself dropping some of the tougher catches. It seemed that when I had less grip surface on the ball would just barely slip out of my fingers. Now, do keep in mind, I don't have pro level hands, but usually I can grab those. Now, we did test these gloves when they got wet, and they did really well in comparison to how other gloves perform when they get wet. The hydrophobic palms did an amazing job repelling that water and keeping the glove dry, so it performed just as well in the wet test as it did in the dry test. Since it was dry, I was still able to have grip on the football when most gloves would be totally wet and pretty much useless in that condition. Overall, the grip on these is really solid and definitely meant for all seasons, like the name suggests. The Massive All Seasons did a pretty good job when dry, but the magic really comes when you're playing in the elements. Like I said, with most gloves, they become totally useless when they get wet, but with these, they keep up the exact same performance. You're able to keep catching the rock in rain, mud, snow, sleet, whatever. Next thing we're going to cover is the protection. We use this category more for the padded receiver gloves and the lineman gloves, so as you can expect, these have no protection whatsoever. The back of hand is just mesh, so it's not going to protect you from any hits. The next thing we're going to cover is the style of the glove. These are a great looking glove. They come in some very cool colorways: Echo Blue, Ice Melt, Night Black, Burgundy and White, White and Black, and Navy Red. These colorways are super unique and a lot different from the regular stuff that you guys see on the market today. My favorite thing about the looks is the solid colored palms. Solid palms just look so clean in my opinion. Lastly, they have some really cool details like the reach further on the inside of the Velcro, the massive branding on the back of hand, and the cool shape overlays on the fingers. Overall, they're a good looking silhouette with some really sweet colorways. The next thing we're going to talk about is what positions these gloves are going to be best for. To me, these are a skill glove through and through. They're a lightweight, sticky football glove with minimal support throughout. That screams receiver glove. These are going to be best for QBs, running backs, wide receivers, and defensive backs. But then again, they're going to be a great option for anyone who plays football in all weather conditions. These are also the only glove on the market to be offered in women's sizes, youth sizes, and adult sizes. Like I said, the grip on these is sick and does a great job repelling the water, so you have no problem catching the ball in rain, sleet, or snow. The next thing we're going to talk about is the price. These gloves retail for $50 for the adult pairs and then $40 for the youth pairs. $50 seems to be the going rate for a good pair of receiver gloves, and these are right on line with that. Now, unfortunately, in these review videos, we can't really test the durability because I can't, wear the same pair of gloves for a whole season for every single pair of gloves that come out here. But I do want to note that the durability on these gloves seems really promising. Both the back of hand material and the palm material are super duper tough, and I can see these easily outlasting some of the other gloves on the market. Overall, $50 for a super durable glove that's going to handle whatever you throw at it seems like a pretty good deal.
Wow.
Also, 10% of their proceeds go to fund their nonprofit Massive Impact, which helps serve athletic programs in underserved communities. I'm a big fan of these gloves based off their price point and their durability, and it's also really nice to see them give back to the community as well. Overall, I really do like these gloves. These are definitely not your regular run-of-the-mill football gloves. These guys are different and in a really good way. The massive mesh back of hand gives you a nice form-fitting compressive fit. The hydrophobic infinity grip is pretty solid when dry, but keeps at that same exact performance when it's wet, which is pretty rare in the glove world. They're a cool looking glove with 6 really dope colorways. You guys remember that bonus pair of football gloves Massive sent us for the unboxing? Those are the Massive Evo 2 Elite gamer gloves. These gloves have a super sticky palm, a little bit different from the all seasons we just reviewed. The samples we have here are the sticky palms of the upcoming Evo 2 Elite Gamer on the body of the all season gloves. In August, they're going to drop these palms with a whole new back design in 8 different colorways. If you guys want more information, head over to their Instagram at Massive Athletics. They're going to be giving away 5 pairs of this new style, so go check them out. There you guys have it. There's the full in-depth review of the Massive all-season football gloves. These are definitely some of the most unique football gloves out there and perfect for anybody who's playing in those crazy climates where you never know what it's doing outside. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like this video, comment what you guys want to see from us in the future, subscribe for more videos just like this one. My name is Devin, also known as FPE, and thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Footballrs.